so grateful to see you all here once again. And um, as as happened tonight, just want to let you know, if you're watching the recording, we send a notice out at about 10, 15 minutes till the hour to remind you that the room is open. And you are welcome to come in early. We're just going to say hello and chat. It's a great time to meet some of the other people in the community. And if you want to come in a couple minutes early just to get to know who else is here, you're always welcome to do that. So this sacred space is held in a certain way. And as we all get used to it together, it's a quick half hour. During this half hour, we're going to talk a little bit about a subject, and I'm going to give you a little guided meditation to just settle you in to whatever that message is. So we're going to jump in right away. Yesterday was Halloween. And Halloween is an interesting time, isn't it? It's the time that we notice the season of death. We notice death in our lives. We notice our ancestors. We, in many cultures, elaborately celebrate the ancestors. We play in the field of ghouls and ghosts and goblins and things that go bump in the night, those things that happen after we're out of our bodies. We hope, unless we get into zombies, and then that's a whole different story. But Halloween is this opportunity to think about kind of the skeleton of us, the part of us that is not immortal, the piece of us that stays here. And depending upon how you look at it, if you think about the way energy moves and the fact that the body then feeds the earth, no matter how we give it to the earth, we could say we're immortal in a different way. But we think about our mortality during this time of year. And one of the interesting things about us as a Western culture is that we kind of do a hopscotch through holidays. We do Halloween, and then we hopscotch till Thanksgiving, and then we kind of leapfrog into Christmas, and then a little skip, and we're into the new year, and then we don't kind of think of anything until we get to Easter. So these holidays, we're in the holiday season or the holy day season, but we look at each of these holidays as a separate event. And what I want us to consider is that these holidays that we're in right now, this process, is a time when we have the opportunity to basically to get to know our own divine heart, to move through our own divine heart in a certain way. And so over the next several weeks, I'll continue to tell you how we're progressing on a spiritual path that leads us through the holidays. But I want to start right now because I want to honor where we've been, that we are only one day through. And for many cultures, this is still the season of death on through the second, that we are acknowledging our ancestors. We're acknowledging our mortality. We're remembering those who have passed this year. We're remembering losses and deaths in our life that could be not human. They could be the loss of a pet or a beloved companion that is not human. It could be the loss of a job or the loss of a marriage. But our life is full of little deaths. And acknowledging those little deaths helps us to recognize that it's safe, that it's a transition point and not a finale. So what happens now for us is that we generally move right into thinking about Thanksgiving. And there's a little step in between there that I want to offer you as consideration. And that is the time of space and silence. So if you have lost someone, and just judging by the age of this group, I would say we've all lost someone in our life. There's an interesting thing that happens. That person passes. We grieve that passing. We notice and acknowledge it. We oftentimes do the ceremony of it. And then when the ceremony is done, we are left with an opening where that person used to be. we're left with space in our heart that we don't know how to fill because that person is not there, or that job is not there, or the people we worked with at that job are not there, or that pet isn't there, or that relationship that ended is not there. And there's a space after death that feels still and silent. And I'd invite you to consider whether you've ever felt this. It's the place where you have nothing more to say. You don't want to tell the story again. You've told the story of what happened. You don't know how to fill the space, but there's an opening, and you don't have a lot of energy to jump into that opening and create something else. And eventually what will happen is you'll move through this open space, and you'll finally kind of begin your healing journey by coming to gratitude. And that moves us into the Thanksgiving season, where we start to be grateful for all of those influences in our life. But we're not there yet. We're in open space. We're in stillness, the stillness that follows the acknowledgement of death. And I want to bring that into your awareness because serenity and peace are found in stillness. And we are living in a time when the world feels a little chaotic around us. So I want to invite you to not fill the space, to actually notice this short, it's about a 4 or 5 day period before we start moving towards Thanksgiving. It's not a long time. We move through these things to prepare ourselves for the time that it takes longer when we're actually in the middle of loss. But I want to invite you to consider this space that sits right beyond Halloween, or Samhain, if you know it is Samhain, right beyond that, a little moment after noticing death, to be still. A moment when you don't have to think too hard, when what you really want to do is be, just be. And I want to invite you into the process for doing that we cultivate this stillness in a certain way. We can cultivate it using meditation, mindfulness meditation, by just making stillness in our lives and being still. And we can cultivate it using things like deep breathing exercises. We can simply bring ourselves to center, take a few deep breaths, and notice where we are in our body, and let ourselves sit in the stillness. We can also do it, some of you might have, especially if you know anything about hypnosis, you might have done progressive muscle relaxation, where you start at the top of your head or at the bottom of your feet, and you progressively relax your eyes, relax your chin, relax your neck, relax your shoulders and your torso, relax down into your hips and down into your legs, through your calves and down into the ground, down through your feet and into the ground. So that progressive relaxation, sometimes people do it by tightening first and then relaxing. Tightening your eyes and relaxing, tightening your jaw and relaxing, tightening your chest and relaxing. So we can feel the body relax in deeper and deeper stages. And that's a really great way of bringing yourself to the stillness, because you're connecting deeper and deeper to the embodiment of that idea. This is an opportunity to integrate small pieces, small moments of stillness in your life all the time. Because even though this is a time that we're invited to kind of concentrate on stillness, it's also a great practice for us. When we are forced to be still, one of two things happens. We either gain insights or we get bored. And gosh, boredom, what an interesting idea that is. What does it feel like when we're bored? It feels like our brain doesn't know what to do. That's how busy our brain is. When we get bored, our brain doesn't know, our brain craves action. So boredom invites us into a different awareness of our being. a different possibility for who we are. And it's an important practice because as we get older and our lives change, we may experience periods of boredom. So it's a really important practice to make being still and not active part of your life, part of what's comfortable for you. So as we're talking about all of this, there's some really big benefits that I want you to think about. This process invites you to cultivate and reduce stress and cultivate stillness, to give yourself more mental clarity, and to kind of foster a state of emotional well-being. I want you to just think about the inner calm that could come from this, and the introspection and insight that can come when you allow this in your life, when you allow stillness to be part of how we move through life. So just by a raise of hands, how many of you would say, I'm really good at stillness? Very good. We have a couple people who are practiced. I am not good at stillness. I require practice. I have to discipline myself into stillness. And my husband is in this room. You just saw him raise his hand. He is the most moving person I have ever met. I'm going to tell on him. Yes, you are the most moving person. You do meditate. You do a good job of meditating. But sometimes we think we're being practiced in our stillness and we're not as still as we could be. So there's not much opportunity in life for us to talk about the power of reducing stress, the power of settling the mind and giving the mind a break. And, this whole idea of meditation every day, we talk about it. Some of us are really good at it. Some of us aren't. Some of us don't like to meditate. You might find that you need to walk and meditate. I do much better if I'm walking. But I want to invite you for the next couple of weeks to try it, to just try being still, to just try being settled. And I want to walk you through now a short meditation that you could use again in those moments that you want to try it. So I want to invite you to go ahead and close your eyes. And this will be just a short and easy meditation. As you close your eyes, take a nice deep clearing breath, breathing in and filling your lungs as much as you can, and then breathing out all the way out. Breathing in again, breathing in and in and in until you can feel the bottom of your lungs expand. And then breathing out and out and out and out until you feel like your lungs are fully emptied. And then breathe out just a little bit more. And one more time, as you're ready, breathing in, expanding the lungs, letting your shoulders come down and rest. Expanding till you can feel the expansion, and as you're ready, exhaling, 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 all the way until you are empty. And when you feel empty, just resume your regular breathing. So this practice that we use gets us feeling our body, feeling our breath, noticing that when we breathe, our body moves, that when we exhale, our body empties. And I simply want you to notice now your breathing, just your regular, normal breathing, in and out as is comfortable for you. And if your mind wanders at all, come back to the breath. Notice the breathing. Feel the breathing through your nostrils. Feel the air as it moves down through your esophagus, through your neck and down into your esophagus, and down into your bronchial tubes, down into your lungs. Notice how much of your breathing you can feel and how your sense of breathing expands from just your nostrils and your mouth down all the way through your chest without having to exaggerate your breath at all. Allow your focus to come back if your mind wanders again and again. What the air feels like as it exits your body, what the air feels like as you inhale and it fills your body. This coming back experientially is different than thinking about breathing. It's feeling the breath, feeling yourself breathe. And as you feel your breath and as you come back to the natural rhythm of your breath and the rise and fall of your chest, let any distractions or thoughts just move out. And gently guide your focus back to your breath whenever your mind wanders. And if your mind needs an activity, give yourself a visual. Imagine yourself at a serene lake. Imagine what the water looks like, how it ripples and moves, how the light dances on its surface. Imagine the earth that holds that water, the shoreline, and how the water rises and falls like your breath against the shoreline. Imagine trees, if there are trees where this water is, or sand if you're looking at the ocean. Imagine what the plant life and animal life around this body of water looks like. Allow yourself to envision rather than think, to envision what the wind might feel like on your skin, to envision and to embody what the sun might feel like without thinking about it, just feeling into the moment. And as you rest here at this calm and still place, bring yourself back to your breath, back to your breath, back to breathing the air. Perhaps you can feel the moisture of this lake in the air that you breathe. Perhaps you can smell the fragrance around you. Just notice in this still moment what it is to be in the quiet serenity of this vision, a vision that you hold for yourself so that your mind is busy and your body can be still and relaxed. And as you're ready, turn your attention slowly back to your breath, noticing how you inhale, noticing how you exhale, allowing the vision of the lake to simply dissolve, bringing yourself back into awareness of your body, feeling the breath rise and fall in your chest, feeling how it moves your shoulders and your arms, how the breath inhabits your mouth and your nostrils, how the exhale is felt against your skin. And as you notice what it feels like to be in the stillness, offer thanks and remind yourself that this is a place you can come to whenever you choose, that you can return to this, that your body can remember what stillness feels like, and it can, with practice, come to a place of stillness with great ease, simply using a few breaths as an indicator that it's time now to be still and at ease. And in this place of stillness, in this place of ease and serenity and peace, when you feel ready, gently open your eyes and return to this space. So this is a simple practice, friends. It's a simple, easy practice of being with the breath, giving the mind a place to go so it's not chattering at you. And then when you're ready, coming back and feeling the embodiment of the breath. And I invite you to remember this practice and to allow it to become part of what you do over these next few weeks of this period of stillness, to train your body to use your breath to still almost immediately. Because in the moments of chaos, in the moments that things are challenging for us, we need a practice we can pull out of our toolbox right now. A short, quick practice that allows us to center and stop our brain from going all the way back into the reptilian fight or flight mode, right? We need to be able to still our brain, our consciousness, so that we can think clearly. And in the world that we live in, we need that moment to be very accessible. So I remind you that you have this easy, gentle tool in your toolbox, and you can use this at your desk. You can use this in your easy chair. You can use this at the kitchen table if you need to. And it will help to center and bring you back to your deep heart. I thank you very much. I am deeply grateful for the gift of a few moments of presence in your life. I hope that your evening and the rest of your week is beautiful. And I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel. I love you. See you soon. Bye.